At this point in time, you might as well refer to me as the comfort food queen, because tonight I'm going to show you how to make a delicious, but most importantly, quick and easy, using basic ingredients, a Southern style stew chicken recipe that's going to be absolutely divine. We have our boneless chicken thighs. We're going to be using dark meat for this recipe. However, if you want to use white meat, you definitely can. If you want to get a whole chicken, if you want to save some, dollars and coins and stuff, get that whole chicken, cut that chicken up into parts and use that as well. First thing I want to add is some oil, right? We're going to add a good amount of oil. Let's go ahead and add some salt and ground black pepper. We're going to try our best not to over season by using minimal salt or no salted products. We're going to add some garlic powder. This is 7 deboned chicken thighs, along with onion powder. Everything is already pre-measured. For a nice smoky element of flavor, let's add some smoked paprika. Chicken bouillon, of course, to boost the flavor. Keep in mind, chicken bouillon is high in sodium, so we're not going to add too much. Let's also add some Cajun seasoning for our Southern style stew chicken, all right? Now, here's the thing. If you have Creole seasoning on hand, you could definitely use Creole seasoning. The reason why I'm adding as much as I'm adding is not because I have 7 pieces of chicken in this bowl, but it's simply because this is a no sodium product. The Cajun seasoning that I'm using could be found at cookingwithtammy.shop, no sodium whatsoever. So let's also add some of my all-purpose Cooking with Tammy chicken seasoning. After all, it is chicken, all right? It goes good with just about everything, including veggies as well. All right, gonna add a good amount. And it's about that time. Let's get down and dirty. We're gonna combine all of the seasoning onto the chicken. Make sure every part of the chicken has seasoning. Your chicken pieces should look just like this. This is the representation of what perfectly seasoned is, front and back, without being salty. Now, here's the thing. You could decide to cover this down with saran wrap and place it into the refrigerator and allow it to be pre-seasoned overnight, or you can simply pull out your cast iron skillet or even your Dutch oven or a heavy-duty stainless steel pan and start the cooking process, which is what we're gonna do. I don't have that time, so I'm not gonna pre-season the chicken and allow it to sit out for 30 minutes to 24 hours. Nah. The way how we season this chicken is still gonna be delicious regardless. All right, to our Dutch oven, we're gonna add some oil. Not gonna add too much oil, just enough to get the party started. And we're gonna go in with our chicken pieces. I'm gonna start off with face side down. Hopefully this large size skillet will be able to hold all of our chicken pieces. If not, we just have to work and brown it up in batches. We're not cooking the chicken all the way through. However, we are browning the chicken. I'm gonna brown the chicken for about approximately 2 to 3 minutes on each side before flipping it over. We're gonna remove all of the remaining pieces from the pan and add it to our bowl. Check this on out. This is gorgeous. Now, here's the thing. I gotta be honest with you. This chicken was cooked all the way through. I don't think we'll have a continuous video because the chicken being seasoned like this alone, right? You don't even need to smother it. I can guarantee you the taste of this chicken is gonna be, when I tell you delicious, take it from you, okay? It smells it smells so good. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of beautification going on at the bottom of this pan. If it's one thing I like about smoked paprika, is the color of element that it leaves you with, right? Whenever you're cooking, whatever it is that you're cooking, once you use that ingredient, not only is that nice smoky aroma a turn on, if you will, right? But it just leaves that beautiful color. So with that being said, I know my onions, once we start to saute our onions and add our other veggies, and once the flavors and the color starts to hug these veggies, oh, it's gonna be everything. All right, to this pan. Trying to allow it a little time to cool down. We're gonna add our butter. Allow that butter to melt. Once the butter is melted, let's add our onions. And as you can see, these are sliced onions, plus a ramekin. That's what the recipe list calls for. Sliced onions and a ramekin coming right up. All right, we're gonna, just as I mentioned before, we're gonna cook our onions down until they become slightly translucent. And once they start to break down, as you can see, they're starting to pick up all of those beautiful flavors and colors. In the meanwhile, let's add our bell peppers as well. I'm gonna be using green bell peppers along with red bell peppers. However, feel free to use whatever you have on hand. If you only have a red bell pepper, or let's say maybe even an orange or yellow bell pepper, feel comfortable enough to use that as well. It's not gonna spoil the recipe. Stir it on up. We're gonna cook the veggies down until the bell peppers become slightly softened as well. And you know what? It seems like something is missing. Celery, get over here. Let's add our diced celery. Compliments of hubby for dicing up the celery perfectly. All right, about 2 to 3 minutes on the veggies. I'm cooking on a medium flame. Add some finely chopped garlic. Get that all incorporated as well. Cook the garlic for about 1 minute or until it becomes fragrant, whichever happens first. All-purpose flour is gonna go in. And the all-purpose flour is gonna work as a thickening agent for our gravy. I want a nice gravy, yes, but I don't want it to be too thick to the point where I have to add a lot of liquid or stock. Chicken broth coming right up and into the pan. Once the deglazing process starts to take place, the bottom of the pan is going to be smooth all over again. You don't have to worry about anything. Once you consistently stir it, it's not going to burn, so no worries whatsoever. And in the meanwhile, let's add some Italian seasoning. I'm going to give it about 5 minutes to start thickening up. And once that happens, we're going to add our chicken. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to serve this delicious Southern style stewed chicken up with white rice. The gravy is starting to thicken up, which is what we're trying to achieve. So with that being said, it's time for us to add our chicken back to the pan. Submerge it. Make sure it's coated in our beautiful gravy. And all reserved juices go in as well. Give it a little stir to make sure the reserved juices combine perfectly with the gravy. All right. And I am going to lower the flame. I'm going to cover it down. Because this is boneless chicken thighs, right? If it's bone in, you cook for a little longer. However, it is boneless, so we're going to be cooking it for, I want to say, approximately 20 to 30 minutes. Now, here's the thing. During the last 20 minutes of the cooking process is when we're going to add our potatoes and carrots. During the last 20 minutes. But for now, we're going to lower the flame, cover it down with the lid, and allow it to continue cooking. It's been about 20-25 minutes so far. And I went ahead and checked on the chicken, and I realized it was starting to get tender, just where we wanted it to be. All right. So with that being said, let's add our potatoes and carrots. We're going to push the potatoes down into the gravy. At this point in time, we're going to lower our flame to low medium or even low heat and allow the potatoes to cook until they become fork tender. Perfect. We're going to cover it back down. It's about 30-35 minutes in total, and I'm super excited because my kitchen smells awesome. And that's one of the main reasons, along with another reason, which I'm going to share with you in a second. But for now, take a good look at this Southern style stewed chicken, baby. This looks amazing. So much so I can't wait to dig in. Ooh, my goodness. All right, we have chicken. We have beautiful potatoes, and we have carrots as well. Wow. Look at this beautiful piece of chicken. All right. You can see that the chicken is breaking apart. I'm not even like manipulating it at this point, and it's just literally breaking apart. I am a gravy girl. Okay. Now here's the thing. I'm using a slotted spoon, as you see, right? And you notice that the gravy is not really falling through as much, simply because we have a perfectly thick consistency. Hearty gravy is what I would love to call it going on. We're gonna take this bite together, okay? I'm taking it for myself and you as well. Let me tell you, delicious, smoky flavor. Delicious all around. The potatoes perfectly cooked. I'm not even gonna touch bases on the chicken yet, right? The gravy is just amazing. You have that delicious Cajun flavor with that little smoky flair going on. Oh man, not to mention the chicken. Absolutely tender, delicious, all of the flavors. Even though we didn't marinate the chicken has all of the flavors locked in because it was perfectly seasoned. Just look at this. When you look at this, breaking apart. Listen, my loves, definitely give this recipe a try. Not only is it budget friendly, but it's absolutely delicious. Anybody, when I tell you anybody is gonna love this dish, it doesn't matter whether or not, if they're always complaining, they don't like to eat, they're gonna probably take the whole pot home, for real, if they don't live with you. This is absolutely delicious. Anyway, my loves, before we go, don't forget to get your seasonings at cookingwithtammy.shop. Of course, for this particular dish, I use my all-purpose chicken seasoning along with my no-sodium Cajun seasoning, of course. And when I tell you, these seasonings bring out nothing but the best flavor, it really does. Now, here's the thing behind the scenes, because I wanted this dish to be somewhat authentic and I didn't want to turn you guys off because not everybody loves spice. But nevertheless, behind the cameras, I added my other seasoning, which is my all-purpose chicken seasoning as well. This is the spicy edition and it gave it that little hint of heat. Woo! Everything tied in perfectly. This dish, if I had to rate it, and it's not because I made it obviously, but if I had to rate it, 10 out of 10, definitely a 10. So well worth it. Man, listen, give this recipe a try. Like I said, another thing before we go, yeah, I'm keeping you back, I'm sorry, but I got a lot to say. All right, I started selling my candles. I'm gonna list them on cookingwithtammy.shop as well. These candles are pretty much gourmand candles. They're Cooking with Tammy inspired, of course. You know what I'm saying? Everything is made by hand. The latest flavor that we, or should I say the latest scent that we came up with was the grandma's banana pudding. It smells just like grandma's kitchen. You have that hint of vanilla, not to mention that banana goodness, and you also have that little hint of caramel. Oh my goodness. Wait, I don't even have to open it. I could smell it coming through the lid, literally. This is down to the last Mohican. I have probably only about 2 more. This is a cozy coffee shop scent. It reminds me, and I know it's going to remind you of your favorite coffee cafe, whether it be, you know, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, or a private coffee shop, mom and pop shop. It doesn't matter. But nevertheless, if you love coffee, even if you brew it in the house and you don't feel like drinking coffee for the day, maybe you're trying to stay off the caffeine, get this candle right here, my loves. It's so worth it. The way how I developed these candles, if you pair the cozy coffee shop candle with one of, let's say, one of the dessert candles, let's say, just throw out the cranberry crumble tart candle, you're gonna have somewhat of a crumble cranberry tart smelling latte. If you get where I'm going with this, right? It's just like having a slice of pie with your favorite cup of coffee. Definitely give these candles a try. They're gonna be so worth it. They're only about 15 bucks. And until next time, my loves, of course, I would definitely catch you guys in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.